Laser-assisted in situ keratomileusis, better known as LASIK, has been performed on more than 10 million Americans since it was first approved by the FDA in 1999.
LASIK stands for Laser-Assisted In Situ Keratomileusis, and it's used to correct nearsightedness, farsightedness, astigmatism, and now presbyopia. It reshapes the cornea to get clearer vision.
At that time, the LASIK procedure used a microkeratome to create the corneal flap in the first step of the procedure.
A microkeratome is a mechanical device used to create a LASIK flap. It utilizes a blade. It creates a smooth surface, which is an advantage for LASIK patients because the corneal heals faster and they recover their vision a bit faster with a smooth surface. Many of the early microkeratomes from the big companies actually operated in a rotating style, but you cannot create a planar flap with that design. It requires a linear movement in order to create a uniform and planar shape.
While the introduction of femtosecond lasers helped to improve the procedure, at the same time, it also reduced accessibility to the public.
One of the problems with the femtosecond laser is that energy produces inflammation, and that inflammation reduces the time of recovery as opposed to the ML7, where the ML7, the visual recovery is almost immediate. 5-10 minutes, you're able to see 20/25, 20/20, as opposed to the femtosecond lasers the very next day. So the time it takes to do one femtosecond laser LASIK, as opposed to the microkeratome, it not only reduces time for the surgeon, but it also gives a better surface. The microkeratome leaves a better surface. So it's, in regards to handling that new volume that we're getting, it is much better to do it with a microkeratome.
Now, innovations in cutting-edge instruments and technologies are helping ophthalmologists to eliminate common issues, exceed client expectations, and improve quality of life for patients.
Medlogix uses state-of-the-art technology and leverages the advancements made in the science of metrology or measurement to ensure that our parts are well machined and meet the highest quality standard. What sets the ML7 apart from femtosecond lasers is the precise cut. Having those microbursts of energy affect surrounding tissues, whereas the blade only affects the cut tissue. The femtosecond laser is literally an order of magnitude more expensive than the ML7, but the ML7 is actually more reliable in making the flap during the LASIK process.
Medlogix's advanced ophthalmic technologies are dedicated to creating greater outcomes for LASIK patients, while lowering the cost to patients and surgeons.
This year, we're happy to say, is the 30th anniversary of Medlogix. And we've been able to dedicate our efforts to working with those surgeons who have a genuine interest in improved patient outcomes. And we've been able to work with surgeons around the world to develop these innovations.
When Medlogix entered the market in 1992, we began by repairing those microkeratome systems already on the market. And we learned very quickly the design flaws, and we adapted those to the ML7. With the ML7, we've entered the market with a device that has addressed the complications that microkeratomes had in the market. A lot of those femtosecond laser companies entered the market with a microkeratome, but didn't address the design flaws that they had. We did, and that's why we're very secure with the microkeratome in saying that it's actually better than femtosecond lasers.
By offering patients accessibility to LASIK, the advanced mechanical designs and software in the ML7 system allows surgeons to return to volume.
The ML7 system is the first smart microkeratome that monitors the flap creation from start to finish, and it adjusts motor speeds to ensure a planar or uniform thickness of the cut. The ML7 also, from start to finish, completes its job in 7 seconds. Femtosecond lasers take about 17 seconds to create the flap creation, and then the surgeon then has to go in with a spatula to manually complete the cut.
At our office, since we have both technologies, I always prefer to use my microkeratome since it gets me a higher quality cut as opposed to the femtosecond, and also the rehabilitation. The patient sees better when I use my ML7 as opposed to the femtosecond laser.
Additionally, Medlogix has further developed the ML7 to be used by eye banks to section corneal tissue for the purpose of using that tissue in partial corneal transplants.
Medlogix entered the donor tissue membrane market several years ago when it was dominated by only one company. And we were able to bring a number of advantages to that process that saves the very cells that you're trying to implant into the recipient. We've also made it a much more competitive market, and people win. Patients, surgeons, they win when things get competitive.
Cataract surgery is one of the highest volume performed procedures in the world, and even a small company like ours that's family owned and operated is going to make a huge impact in the advancements of technology in that field. And we look forward to seeing our products on the market very soon.